while they're putting it up there, you'll just tell you that it's about a child, and she's going to give you, I think, a little story of her own, and hopefully you'll get the sound system on it too. If it doesn't work, I can do it without it, but I prefer you to see it.
I thought I knew. I thought I knew who he was. I didn't want to let him down. I couldn't get away.
Don't be scared.
He hurt me.
You'll never change what's been gone. May your smile.
It was out of control. I couldn't stop it.
Don't be scared. Your destiny may keep you on.
He made me feel special.
'Cause all of the stuff
Like I was the only one.
faded away. Just try not to worry. You'll see them someday.
The only one he wanted to be with. The only one he wanted to talk to. The only one he wanted to see.
Take the top off.
You know, really see. That's when it started. When it got out of control. When I thought I was going to get into trouble. But there is a way forward. It's better to tell someone. Someone who can make it stop. Then it won't happen at all. Now I know you can do something. Now I know it's never too late. 'Cause you see, I thought I knew.
That's a British-produced little film, and I'm going to make a little more noise because the kids up front probably can't see this. I'm going to move this all the way back, if we can, behind the mayor here. Because we're going to look at some more videos here in a minute, so we want to just get it out of the way. Then we'll all be done. Thanks, Mayor, for that extra hand. How many of you have a MySpace site? Now, I want you to, come on, raise your hands if you got one. Everybody's got one. Don't worry about that. Okay, you put your hands back down again. Let me tell you that kids under 14, and most of you are 11, 12, 13 in the middle school, aren't supposed to have a MySpace site. Now, the fact of the matter is that MySpace can't keep you from getting them. Kids lie about their age, and they go and all have a MySpace site. So if parents are concerned, I tell them, forget it. I don't think it's a big deal whether you have a MySpace site or not. The important thing is that you learn, and your parents learn with you too, how to help protect yourself on the MySpace site or on Facebook or anywhere else you go. Of those of you who have a MySpace site, I want you to tell me, and raise your hands accordingly, how many of you have more than 25 friends? Okay, put your hands down. Now, how many of you have more than 50 friends? More than 100 friends? More than 200 friends? Anybody here got more than 500 friends? All right, I got one over there. I got 3. How many friends do you have? The ones that have over 500? How much? 625. Another one over here. Who had over 500? How many? 7? How many? 717. How many? 724. Who else has more than 500? One other person over here did, didn't he? No, that's it? Nobody else? All right, that's not too surprising. I've been in a classroom down in a high school where I had half a dozen kids in a group like this that had over 1,000 friends. One of them said they had over 2,500 friends. When you have over 25 or 30 friends on MySpace, guys, you don't know all those people. You haven't met them all in person. I know only a few of you raised your hands when Dr. J asked you that question a minute ago about you ever communicate with somebody you don't know. Well, if you got, 50 friends or more, I'd guarantee you, you probably haven't really met them in real life. And that's one of the really interesting things about all of this to talk about. It's really dangerous. We're going to go through some slides up here. And I'd like to keep the lights down. I know that's hard for TV, but to the degree we can. ASL. Who here can tell me what ASL means? All right, what does it mean? Age, sex, location. Those are three dangerous words. They're dangerous when they're put together because that's what you guys talk to each other about. That's the first thing most of you ask each other when you go on a MySpace site. Not yet. We're not going to quite go to that yet. We'll do it in just a second. But ASL. And location is dangerous to give out your location with your age and the sex because the bad guys that are out there are looking for that. All right, you can put up here, LMIRL. What is LMIRL? Who can tell me what that means? Somebody here ought to be able to tell me. LMIRL. In high school, everybody knows what that is. Somebody here knows that, surely. Nobody? Let's meet in, yeah, there's one who knows it. He's looked on the back probably. Let's meet in real life. And let's meet in real life is what a little girl did in Polk County the other day. I don't know if you read about that in the newspaper, but she's 15 years old. She thought she was talking on the internet to somebody who was 20-something. Probably shouldn't have been thinking about talking to 20-something, let alone going out to try to meet him. You know, that person turned out to be 40-something and a previously convicted sex offender, and he took her up to Georgia. And very fortunately, with all the news and the press, he released her unharmed. But that's not always the way these things work out. If you really think about what happens, we have had some really dangerous things happen in the country. There's a woman named Alicia, and I think that's what's next up on my slide. Alicia thought she had a special friend. This is Alicia's picture. She's now 19. She was 13 years old when that picture was taken. Alicia's from Pittsburgh. Alicia is the first known abductee, first known child that the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children tell us was taken as a result of internet by a child predator. And when she was 13, she was taken and held captive by a man for 4 days. What she did was she went out on New Year's Day to meet somebody. She went out on New Year's Day, and he took her and held her and did all kinds of horrible things. She says she doesn't have any memory of that. This is her when she was missing. That's her profile when they put it up there. She's also been written up in a major magazine, People magazine, which the next slide shows you, about what happened to her. But in any event, they found her. Fortunately for her, the FBI found her. They had a picture posted. This guy was so proud of himself for what he did and was doing to her. She was shown with a dog collar around her neck, and her picture was up on the internet, and that's how they found her. Usually, after a period of something like 2 days, maybe 24 hours, you're not going to be able to expect to find a child alive after that period of time. That's how dangerous that can be for somebody. She was abducted, she was enslaved, and it's just a very dangerous thing to see happen in a situation like that. So I think that's very, very important for you to be aware of, that who you're talking to on the internet may not be who you think it is. It could be somebody else. I think we have another slide that demonstrates that. You could be assaulted, you could be abducted, you could get disease, death, all kinds of things can happen to you because you meet up with somebody in real life you just don't want to go do. Let's go to the next slide. Profiles are dangerous. They're easy to search. They're easy to find. Is MySpace private, guys? Do you think it's private? Do you think because yeah, what do you think?
You get to choose if you want to put it private or not.
Yeah, you get to choose, but you know what else? Nothing you put up on MySpace is actually private, even if you choose it. You choose it. That's something you don't realize. Nothing you put up there. Nothing you put up there. You put up these things, your name, your date of birth, your address, your school, your membership teams, they can be hacked into by these bad guys. They know exactly how to do that. There is nothing on the internet that's private. If I don't get anything else across to you today, no matter what they say to you about it, unless it's one of those bank account things that's got all kinds of whatever built into it, certainly not MySpace, certainly not Facebook, it's not actually private. Now, you think you're restricting somebody who's getting access, but you really aren't restricting it.